Camron, yes, he has made a major move. He has brought the legendary Mark Jackson to It Is What It Is. He had posted it on his social media, on IG. He let it be known that he is in a partnership with Mark Jackson. I'm not sure everything what it means, but I'm telling you, as soon as it comes out and every little incremental detail, we will be giving you all the news updates and more. But this is big time news to see him in this position. Cam has been all in the news, in the sports world right now. But this partnership with Mark Jackson, I think is huge because Mark Jackson to me has been pretty much just took out of everything. I don't know if you've been noticing, but Mark Jackson has not gotten really any respect, for whatever reason. And he single-handedly brought the Golden State Warriors to prominence, so it is what it is at the end of the day. Is a hurtful situation what happened to him. But what I will say is Camron is a perfect guy to have with him. And because Camron is unfiltered, and we all know this, and this show is blowing up and is completely independent. And obviously, it started off independent, and obviously, we know where it's going now and he's still doing his thing. So make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports if you don't want to miss 1 second of this coverage because we're going to be bringing it to you. It's crazy what's going on, man. Let me know in the comment section what's your thoughts. Because I'm almost like lost for words right now at what this means. Mark Jackson, he led the Golden State Warriors for 3 seasons, compiling 121 and a 109 record, leading them to the playoffs twice. All of these things took place, ladies and gentlemen, and this is just big, for Mark Jackson. I don't know why he never got a job. We all know it was a situation with ownership and Golden State. We all know their beliefs. And at the time, I'm not sure if Mark Jackson still is, but he was a pastor, and he was bringing a lot of that culture to Golden State. Clearly, you see Steph Curry, he's a religious guy, so I mean, it fit perfectly, but with the star player, but I don't think everybody in the organization was feeling that. Nonetheless, they brought in Steve Kerr, and you can't tell me that Steve ain't do a job. But at the end of the day, the foundation was laid for Steve Kerr, you can't put Mark Jackson with a better entity right now than Camron, who could drill that into the people's heads. He has resuscitated O.J. Simpson for crying out loud. This is what Cam has done. O.J. Simpson was taboo. He was this, he was that. They got O.J. on TV. Now they got to deal with what O.J. saying now. So Mark Jackson, they done fired Mark Jackson, and he let it be known nobody gonna be able to fire him no more. But he let it be known he didn't sign Mark Jackson, but they are in a partnership and he's a part of It Is What It Is family. And he did mention the Mark Jackson show coming soon, which almost makes me feel that could it be a situation where Mark Jackson, gets his own show on the network? And that's what it is, the Come Talk to Me channel. That It Is What It Is airs off of. You have a lot of different shows on there anyway. You got the Stat. Shout out to Stat Baby. She's becoming a much bigger star in her own right, and that's what's going down. And that's something. It's not just Camron just trying to get all of the limelight. He's bringing in, the elite guests, and he's being respected within all sports. Whether in football, whether in basketball, anything, even in baseball, he had a Hispanic team in there. So that's a very ambitious thing to do. So we got to give him major props, for even trying to attempt something like that. It wasn't easy. Um, I believe that Mace, I can only imagine what it's going to be like. When could the announcement take place? Obviously, we've seen it on social media. When are we going to get our first look at Mark Jackson on It Is What It Is? could an interview be coming up? And Cam, he's going to ask the tough questions. He's going to ask the questions that they're not going to answer. We're going to fully get to the bottom of what truly went on. And as you can see, they're not bringing Mark Jackson back in as a coach. So what does Mark Jackson really have to lose? You might get an unfiltered Mark Jackson. For all we know, Mark Jackson, like, man, with the heck with it. I'm ready to just tell it all now. And getting with Camron, it could happen. We could very well see him on there spilling the beans at the truth about how he really feels. Clearly it's not so much on Steve Kerr, pardon me. It was ownership, with Mark. But he still should have got another job. And I feel that the NBA failed him in that right. Come on, this dude had an illustrious career, did massive things. Shout out what he did for the Knicks, the Pacers, we all know. And he's a respected entity in this game. And the fact that we can't hear him on ESPN, they got all these knuckleheads now, running their mouth, and they took out all the authenticity. When you're removing guys like him, even, pardon me, the Van Gundys, Jeff Van Gundys. I mean, you can't be. This is what people want to hear, when they're coming on there. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, they made their beds, man. But let me know what to expect from this, because Cam is just continuing to do something massive and massive and massive. When he first started this, a lot of people thought it was a joke. Camron ain't serious. This ain't nothing to, really take seriously out here. This is a joke. Da, 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 da. And time again now you see this ain't no damn joke. This show is out here, and it's here to stay. And this show clearly has major staying power. And I can only imagine where it's going to be in the future, because just in this short period of time, you're talking about a big time deal. They had, like I said, Antonio Brown. You had anybody that's somebody. You had Stephen A. Smith for crying. Everybody has showed up to the show. You had Damian Lillard there before the trade. So they are getting. It's not a joke. This is not some kind of two rappers just fooling around. These guys are really getting information, news, and you got to come to them for intel. They have some exclusivity out here. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It's Flight Sports TV. Mark Jackson is back with Camron. You already know they have partnered. They both have partnered, and like I said, it's gonna be big time news. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a second of this.